I want to speak about Mate, which is a scepter that Moshe had, which was, according to this Mishnah Pirkei Avot, was created at the twilight of the creation, meaning that there was a certain things that was necessary to exist in this world, and the scepter represents someone who is holding the scepter. Actually, represent God, Hashem, because He's given more power. He's given the power over the world. And there is a midrash that talks about this scepter of Moshe that he had and how he acquired it. And its story is extremely similar to the story of the sword and the stone. You probably remember it about King Arthur, who, as a kid, had a test. He came to a certain spot, and there was a sword planted in a stone. And it's a many brave men tried to pull it out, but no one succeeded ever. And King Arthur was able to pull it out with ease. So similar story, Lehavdil, exists about this Moshe Rabbeinu staff that he was holding. It was a big, powerful instrument. And it says that he was extremely heavy. A normal person would not be able to lift it. And it says it was weighted about 500 kilograms, half a ton. So basically, probably almost 1,000 pounds. And it says this Mate was originally given by Hashem, I think, because it has a magical powers to it. And it was given to Adam Harishon, the first man. And it signified this ability of the man to basically dominate the earth and to be able to build things, to be able to create things. And was a magical letters written in it, was the name of Hashem. It was a list of 10 plagues, actually, that was written right on that mate, on that scepter. And it says that from Adam, Arishon, the first man, it eventually came into possession of Noah. And Noah took it into his ark, and he went basically there. And after the flood, it was passed down to Shem, the son of Noah. And Hashem gave it to Abraham. Abraham gave it to Yitzhak. Yitzhak gave it to Yaakov. And Yaakov, when he came to Mitzrayim, to Egypt, last Parsha, he gave it to Yosef. And Yosef, eventually, when he passed away, it was put in the Pharaoh's treasure. And it says that Pharaoh had 3 advisors. That's how it relates to our Parsha. And when the Pharaoh decided that he wants to hurt the Jews, he made a council what to do with them because they becoming too populous. And the first man, Bilham, he advised to drown them. Then Yitro stepped up and said, "No, you cannot do it. Whoever tried to harm the Jews in the past suffered. An example was Pharaoh himself. He suffered." And the third guy, Eve, he said, basically he was quiet. But because Yitro said no, he was worried that he's going to be punished. So he decided to run away. And on the way out of the Egypt, he picked this mate. Apparently, Yitro was also a very powerful man. He was able to carry it. When he came to his house in Midian, somewhere in the garden, he planted it in the garden. And he knew that there was a legend that whoever was able to, it should be given to Redeemer of the Jews from Egypt. And he planted it in his garden. And no one was able to pull it out. And he said, but whoever will be able to do it, Yitro says, I'm going to give my most beautiful daughter, Zipporah, his oldest daughter, to him. And when the Moshe came from Egypt, he was running away. He was just walking around the garden and he found this interesting looking stuff. And when he got a hold of him, it came out of the ground with ease. And as we know in this week's Parsha, so the Moshe will be touching the water of the Nile. not himself, but through his brother, and that was a staff that he performed many miracles with. So I just like almost like a children's fairy tale. That's something that I like about this stuff.
Where are you reading it from?
This is a midrash, Moam Loos.